Hey, we are live. And again, I'm very happy that we are doing a book today. I'm really grateful to our guest, JAGDEV from Odisha, Bhubaneswar. Uh, he is an entrepreneur and so many other things. We'll get to know about it. I would like to welcome him to our show. Namaskar, Jai Jagannath. Welcome to Holistic Conversation.
Namaskar.
Uh, I want to read something that he has on his page, in his website. He says, be adaptable to change. If you insist on taking a stand, someone will move the earth under you. How beautiful is that? So, on that note, we are going to start our conversation. And as you all must be knowing, he's also a poet. So I really would love to start this conversation with a poem of his, and I would love to hear him recite his poem. Welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mamina. Thank you, Mamina. So this poet avatar of mine is a recent one. In fact, it's just that some of my friends nudged me into writing poems. They discovered some poetry in my prose, so they thought that there's a hidden poet inside me. Why don't you try? And then I've been doing it. I don't know how good or how bad it is, but this where actually I'm at the moment. So it's just, I think on 22nd December 2023, I had written a poem while driving down to my village. That's pretty close to the Lake Chilka. So as I was driving, I came out of my community and I hit the highway, and I was overcome by a particular thought, and that prompted me to see my life. How we have moved on in life, and here I am on the highway, and I just wrote a poem. I think many of us can relate to that, and I let me just the poem title is called "From a Lane Onto a Highway." Am I audible to all of you? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay,
We are
good,
ready.
good. Yeah, okay. So it's the title of the poem is "From a Lane Onto a Highway." With the pain of the lane now in my rear view mirror and the wide highway laying ahead of me, I look at infinite hopes that holds promises to make up for all the lost time. Now there is speed in my car and the air rushes through my hair. The same road seems narrower now, nearer now what once looked farther. Everything seems to be in order and the goals are no more a dream. This is my dream, and with joy I am rearing to scream. But in my rush, I had forgotten to check if my palazzo was blooming this time, that corner tea stall, if it was open or is still visited by those old friends of mine. The butts of my cigarettes laying around the place were surely mine. I do not know if the road would allow me to return after that finishing line. That's about so I written that as we move on in life and progress in life, we are ignoring and missing out on so many things which were pretty normal in our past life. The question is that can we come back to if we want to after achieving or going to a different life, which we have been aspiring for in the future. That's what the poem was about. I hope you liked it.
Yes, I loved it. Like you said, like there's a lot of memories, like flashback. When you are going, you are seeing, you are memorizing your childhood and the days spent and how life has changed, and we have all moved on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's
But have
beautiful.
you moved on? Have you moved on? That's what the question is. We don't move on actually. So that's what the question is. Do we move on? If you really want to come back to the old life, can we? Or
Can we?
will the life allow us to come back to it? That's what the
Yes.
big question is about.
Yeah. So as you said, have I moved on? I mean, moved on in what sense? Like, like
Yeah.
if I have to ponder over the poem and the thought. I was thinking moving on can be only for certain things, right? Like we are
Yeah, yeah,
aging, we are moving on. That cannot be controlled, right? That
yes,
has to go on.
true,
And
true,
then our responsibilities, our work, our demand of our work, like we are moving because of that. So, but there's things in our mind and heart as human being. We just cling to those memories, and we sometimes like to revisit.
true. So memories are there. That's what makes it human. We don't forget. I mean, however hard we try to forget, we act as if we haven't forgotten. That ceases to be less important to us. But the memory is a memory,
Yes,
and it keeps
yes,
coming back. It keeps hunting.
yes.
You never know when it will hit you.
Yes. That's true. Like your memory hit you in the highway, right?
Yeah. So that's what I was just. In fact, I had not bothered to look at those things since quite some time. So I think I haven't even checked them. So
Yeah.
that's what it's called moving on.
Yeah, it was nice to hear. Thank you for reciting, and thank you for mentioning about your village and your childhood and your friends. It's
Okay.
wonderful that your friends noticed this creative side of you, and they just shared that, and you attended to your creativity, and that's wonderful.
Yeah, and nice to have a good set of friends actually who see things in you which you don't see it yourself. So that's what good friends are for. You'd they see that.
Yeah, that
you,
was
uh,
really
they,
nice. Yes,
they act as the mirrors, the good mirrors,
yes.
yes, with this good or bad, they tell you that okay, there's a potential and when to tap it.
Yeah, that's right. That was so nice to share. Oftentimes we are so caught up that we don't even know who we are, or what
Yeah,
else
true.
have we not even discovered about our own self. So that
True.
was really very, very uh, beautiful, beauty of life that we touched today. Uh, just so that we are just getting into our conversation. Let's know a little bit about you, like how things happened, how life unfolded. How have you been catching up to life?
It's a long story. Long story. I mean, it says I'm old and naturally I'll have a long story. I'll try to cut it short. So I've been out and out an entrepreneur in the sense that since 1992, 91, 92, 93, after my college education, I just chose to be an entrepreneur in the sense that there was urge in me to do something differently. Not get into the set conventions. I'm not a great person to stick to any convention or a set format. I feel a little stifled inside. So I thought I'll stay small, do something on my own, and that's about it. At a young stage, you really don't plan your life that long. They're all in short terms. So my plan was for a short term to be an entrepreneur and stay here. I mean, staying here with my parents was in fact the biggest draw. Call it my lazy self or call it my indolent self or whatever it is. I didn't want to leave my home. So that was so that is
That's
how it
beautiful.
started. And Bhubaneswar and Odisha being a small place, and IT is the line I chose because at that time IT didn't require a huge capital to start your service, and service sector was emerging, and ITES, what you call the IT enabled services, were actually unfolding, and you could. At that time, you could start an enterprise with investment as low as a couple of lakhs and get few clients and just break even. So that's why we started a very modest start and we kept on doing it. And with all major initiatives of the state, call it pass sector reforms, revenue, land revenue records, starting from treasury automation, starting from various sectors. We were exposed to most of them and we kept on working. And that, in fact, gave me a lot of insight into the governance part of it and how it is administered, how our policy is framed, how our policy is implemented. So it took me almost to the remotest part of the state, to the most powerful where actually decisions are being taken. So I was exposed to the whole spectrum, the gamut of stakeholders. So that's how it was happening, and here we are. And COVID and 2019 20 made me realize that life is fragile, life is short, and the sooner we discover our purposes, and the sooner we do something about it instead of waiting for that big day when it will happen, that I started doing something, and we started the initiative under our not-for-profit initiative. We called that's what we called a Recite World, where actually we felt that the current generation is completely disconnecting from our mother language, literature, and language. So people like you, children of yours, who are in a position to access those contents. So we started something to make them access the contents and listen to that. You can Google, you can just go to recite.world and find lovely, Odia short stories in an audiobook format which you can listen to. Recite.world, you can listen to. So we do a lot of things. I write poems, and I mean our engagements are multifarious.
Yeah, that's beautiful to hear about your journey. I especially loved the way you said that to you, to not fit in and create your own world, be it small, doesn't really matter. You started your own thing, and congratulations for that. And I would like to share that if ଆଜି ଯଦି ଆପଣମାନେ ସମସ୍ତେ ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି, this is a inspirational episode, like you heard him saying that he wanted to do something and there was an urge in him, and there was a calling, and he listened to his heart and just followed, and here he is now. So nothing is impossible. You just have to listen to follow, and rest all I think unfolds.
I mean, life has its own way of taking you along with its course. You only can look back and kind of see that how it. I mean, when you look behind, you see actually there is a pattern emerging, and you connect those dots and try to create a story. But as you look forward, you never know where it is going and how it is going, and the usual, you know there's a huge unpredictability and uncertainties ahead of you. But once you are driven by a particular purpose, and you have your intentions and integrities in place, you will reasonably achieve what you intend to. This may not give you a very, you know, huge success, but you're not disappointed that you didn't try. You should try.
Yes, yes.
Otherwise,
When
you live
you
with the guilt.
go,
Yeah. So you live with the guilt that you never tried. It's good
yeah,
to try
yeah,
and
that,
fail than not trying.
yeah, yeah. That's the lesson. We got our first lesson of the day. Woohoo! Try. That's really wonderful. And I would also like to know, like, ଆପଣଙ୍କର Sunday stories ଆପଣ post କରନ୍ତି, right?
Come again?
Recite world ରେ ଆପଣ Sunday stories post କରନ୍ତି
Yes.
ଓଡିଆରେ।
ଗୋଟେ ରବିବାସୀରେ ଗପ ବୋଲି ଏବେ ଶନିବାର ଦିନ ଆମେ ରାତିରେ ପୋଷ୍ଟ କରୁ। ଏବେ ରାତିରେ
ହଁ, ହଁ,
ଏବେ post ହେଇଥିବ। So that you can always access anywhere free. ମୁଁ
yeah.
ଏନକରେଜ କରିବି ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଯେ ସମସ୍ତେ ତାକୁ ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ, ଆଉ ସମସ୍ତେ ଦେଖିକିରି ଶୁଣନ୍ତୁ, ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ଶୁଣାନ୍ତୁ, ଗାଡିରେ ଗଲାବେଳେ, ଏୟାରପୋର୍ଟ ଟର୍ମିନାଲରେ ବସିଲା ବେଳେ। ଷ୍ଟୋରି ଗୁଡାକ ଏସବୁ ସବୁ ବହୁତ ପୁରୁଣା, ଏବଂ ଓଡିଆ ଲିଟରେଚର ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜ ର ଡିଫାଇନ କରାହେଇଛି। ଯଦି ଆଜି ଓଡିଆ ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜ ଲିଟରେଚର କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ଯୋଉ ଯାହା କୁହନ୍ତି ବିଲ୍ଡିଂ ବ୍ଲକ୍ସ, these stories are actually the building blocks apart from the poetries and the poems which are there. ତେଣୁ ତାକୁ ତ ଆମର ଏବେ ତ ୱାର୍ଲଡ ପୋଏଟ୍ରି ଡେ ଗଲା ମୋର, ତ
Mm,
ସେଥିରେ ଗଲା। କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ଓଡିଆର ସର୍ଟ ଷ୍ଟୋରି ଅଛି, କାହିଁକିନା ଆମର ମାନେ ସବୁବେଳେ ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜ ତାର ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଂଥ ହଉଛି ଓରାଲ ଟ୍ରାଡିସନ୍ସ। ଯେ ଆମେ
mm.
କେତେ ମାନେ ପାଟିରେ କେତେ ଷ୍ଟୋରି ନାରେଟ କରିପାରେ। ତେଣୁ ସେଇ ଜିନିଷ ଯେତେବେଳେ ହେଇଛି, ଓଡିଆର ମାନେ ଫାଉଣ୍ଡେସନାଲ ଯଦି ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଂଥ କୁହାଯିବ, ଇଟ୍ ହାଜ ଭେରି ଷ୍ଟ୍ରଙ୍ଗ ଓରାଲ ଟ୍ରାଡିସନ। ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ବହି ଫର୍ମ ରେ କିମ୍ବା ସର୍ଟ ଷ୍ଟୋରୀ ଫର୍ମ ରେ ଯୋଉ ସର୍କୁଲେଟ ହବାଟା ବହୁତ ପରେ 150-200 ବର୍ଷ ଭିତରର କଥା। କିନ୍ତୁ ସବୁବେଳେ ଆମର ଯୋଉ ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟୋରୀ କହିବା ନାରେଟ କରିବା ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ଆମର ପୁରୁଣା ଥିଲା ପ୍ରଥମରୁ, ଏବଂ ସେଇଟାକୁ ଆମେ କହିଲୁ ଯେ ନାଇଁ ଆମର ଯେହେତୁ ଅଛି ତେଣୁ ଗୋଟେ ଆମେ ସେଇ ଓରାଲ ଟ୍ରାଡିସନ କୁ ଫେରିଯିବା, ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ ଶୁଣେଇବା। ତା ଦେହରେ ଦି ତିନିଟା ଜିନିଷ ହଉଛି। ଗୋଟେ କଥା ହଉଛି ଯେ ସ୍ପଷ୍ଟ ଉଚ୍ଚାରଣ, ଠିକ ସେ ଓଡିଆଟା କେମିତି ହଉଛି, କୋଉ ୱାର୍ଡ ଟାକୁ କେମିତି କୁହାଯିବ, ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ କ୍ଲିୟରଲି ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକ ଗୋଟେ ରେଫରେନ୍ସ ପଏଣ୍ଟ ହିସାବରେ ସେ ଷ୍ଟୋରୀରୁ ପାଇପାରିବ। ତା ଦେହରେ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡେ ନୂଆ ନୂଆ ୱାର୍ଡ ବି ପାଇବ, ଯୋଉ ୱାର୍ଡ ଗୁଡାକ ଶବ୍ଦ ଗୁଡାକ ଧୀରେ 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 ଆମର ଲେକ୍ସିକନରୁ କିମ୍ବା ଆମର ବ୍ୟବହାରରୁ ବାହାରି ଗଲାଣି। ଯୋଉଟା 70 ବର୍ଷ ତଳେ 100 ବର୍ଷ ତଳେ ଲେଖା ହେଇଥିଲା ସେଟା କଣ ଏବେ ବ୍ୟବହାର ହଉଛି କି? କିନ୍ତୁ ସେ ଶବ୍ଦଟା ଚାଲିଯିବାଟା ବଡ ଦୁଃଖର କଥା। ତ ଆମେ ଯଦି ସେ ଷ୍ଟୋରୀ ଗୁଡାକ ଶୁଣିବା ଏବଂ ସେ ୱାର୍ଡ କୁ ମନେ ରଖିବା, ବହୁତ ଲୋକ ତାଙ୍କର ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜ କୁ ନୂଆ ନୂଆ ୱାର୍ଡ ହବ, ୱାର୍ଡ ହଜିଯିବନି। ୱାର୍ଡ ହଜିଯିବନି, କାରଣ ୱାର୍ଡ ହଜିଗଲେ ଆମର ତା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଗୋଟେ ବିରାଟ ମିନିଂ, କାରଣ ୱାର୍ଡ ଟାର ଯଦି ମିନିଂ ଚାଲିଗଲା ସେ ୱାର୍ଡ ର କିଛି ରହିଲାନି ଆଇଡେଣ୍ଟିଟି। ୱାର୍ଡ ର ଆଇଡେଣ୍ଟିଟି ହଉଛି ତାର ମିନିଂଟା, ଏବଂ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଯଦି ବ୍ୟବହାର କରିବାନି ଏବଂ ଠିକ ଜାଗାରେ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରିବାନି, ସେ ଜାଗାରେ ତାର ସେ ୱାର୍ଡ ଟା ଚାଲିଗଲା ବୋଲି ଜଣା ପଡିବ। ସେ କେବଳ ଡିକ୍ସନାରୀ ରହିଲେ ୱାର୍ଡର କିଛି ଲାଭ ହୁଏନି, ୱାର୍ଡ ଟା ବ୍ୟବହାର ହବା ଦରକାର।
Yeah, that's true. I mean, ମତେ ବି ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ଲାଗେ ଯେମିତି ଇଭେନ୍ ଆଇ ବିଲଙ୍ଗ ଟୁ ଓଡିଶା, ଓଡିଶାରେ ଆମେ ବଡ ହେଇଛୁ, ପାଠ ପଢିଛୁ, still I feel like my language is not at par. Like sometimes when I'm talking in Odia, I'm just uh, thinking कि ओहो ଏଇଟା ଇଂଲିଶ ରେ ଅଛି, ଏଇଟା ହିନ୍ଦୀରେ ଅଛି, यार ଓଡିଆ ଟା କଣ ହବ? You know, you just do Google to translate that into Hindi Odia. So at that point of time, I feel like, come on, this is not done. It's not done. And also, like people are not, even though we live outside and we have communities, chota chota communities of Ochanti, we don't, uh, uh, what do you say? We don't have, take that as responsibility to कि हम ओडिया କଥା हवा कि छुआ मन को ओडिया सिखावे। ମୁଁ ନିଜେ ବି ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ଯେ as a mother, ମୋ ପୁଅ ବି ତା କଥା ବି ଯଦି କହିବି, he knows just a little bit. He don't understand what I'm saying. But ତାକୁ ଯଦି କହିବି you answer me in Odia, ତ ସେ ବହୁତ easy words ଖୋଜି ଖୋଜିକିନା କହିବ, ହଁ ପାରିବି, ହଁ ପାରିବିନି, ମୁଁ ଯିବି, କଣ କରିବି, ଖାଲି short words like that. So it is a responsibility for us also to pass the tradition. That's what I felt when you are talking about this recite world, creating the recite world. That is a huge contribution, I would say.
थैंक यू। एटा मेन कथा होची आपण माने गोटे दिन देखंतु जे आपण लैंग्वेज को जते व्यवहार करिवे लैंग्वेज सेते डिफाइन हबो। आपण ताको जे क्लास भलिया बसै के कहबे जे तू गोटे ऐप यूज करि के ओडिया वर्ड सीखे, 1000टा वर्ड सीखिछु, आरो मासरे 1500टा वर्ड सीखे, सेटा किछि माने रखेनी। तो आपण माने घरे जदी केना देखंतु पिलाटा दिनरो आमे समस्ते 5-6टा लैंग्वेज को पैरेलली हैंडल करिवार क्षमता रखे। मल्टीलिंगुअलिज्म हला वर्तमान फ्यूचर। आपण कोनोसी गोटे सिंगल लैंग्वेज को धरि के आपण ताको बांधी के रहि परिबेनी। आज आपनकर इंग्लिश लैंग्वेजटा 200 वर्ष पूर्व जहाँ था बर्तमान से लैंग्वेजटा सेया नहीं, एवं लैंग्वेजटा होची ଗୋଟେ कन्स्टेंट चेंज हेबा उचित भी, एवं कोनोसी तले प्योरिटी बोली किछि नहीं। देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड हम समस्त समस्त संगे क्रॉस पॉलिनेट करिकरी आगु आगु जिबा कथा। तेनो जदि हमर लैंग्वेजटा निज लैंग्वेजटा जानिबा एवं ता संगे आउ बेसी लैंग्वेज जानिबाटा होची ଗୋଟେ स्ट्रेंथ। आपण जो लोकर जहार लैंग्वेज कैपेबिलिटी जते अधिका से लोकर क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग सेते अधिका, से पिलार तार कॉम्प्रिहेंशन कैपेबिलिटी आहुरी अधिका। बिकॉज से कोन होची से नुवा वर्ड पाउची से तार माने संग कनेक्ट करूची। आपण तेनो लैंग्वेजटा सब बेले पिला को मल्टीपल लैंग्वेज संग एक्सपोज करबाटा बहुत भलो। से कने से जो जागा रे बढ़ुची से तार लैंग्वेज सिखिबो नेचुरली। से ताका स्कूल पिला को सिखुची, बाहर लैंग्वेज सिखुची, मीडिया रो सिखुची, रास्ता रे सिखुची, 8-9टा सोर्स रो पाउची। आपण को घरे से आपण संगे गोटे लैंग्वेज कथा करिवो, किंतु तादी जेजेबा जेजेमामा संगे कथा करतो से आउट लैंग्वेज कथा करथिबे। तेनु एइतरे आपण ताको एक्सपोज करबाटा बहुत जरूरी। से जानिबो जे मो पेरेंट्स संगे एभलिया कथा करूची, किंतु जेतेबे मु जेजेबा जेजेमामा संगे कथा करूची मु अन्य लैंग्वेज रे भी कथा करूची। तो सेटा दीटा लैंग्वेज हे गला सेठी, दी प्रकार लैंग्वेज। कोनोसी गोटे लैंग्वेज गोटे प्रकार नुहे। हम रास्ता रे जंती कथा करूचे, कोन दुकान से एभलिया कथा करूचे ना ऑफिस रे
That's
एभलिया
true.
कथा करूचे। तेनु हमर प्रत्येक लैंग्वेज रे जो तार अछि वर्जन्स अछि, हम प्रत्येक लैंग्वेज रे वर्जन को पिला एक्सपोज करिया कथा। जे भद्र लोक असले
That's
केमती
right.
कथा करिवो, हम घर भितरे केमती कथा करिवो, जेंति हम घर
Yes.
भितरे लोक ଏଇଟା ଲୁଗା ଯେମିତିଆ ସେମିତି ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜରେ ବି ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାରର ଲୁଗା ରହିବା ଉଚିତ। I hope I
Yeah, yeah,
described.
that's yeah, beautifully described. Yes, because ঠিক কথা মানে ঘরে ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରକାର language ବାହାରେ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରକାର language ମାନେ ସେଇ ଓଡିଆ but it's like more refined and more appropriate you know wow
Proper
it's wonderful
proper
uh, huh?
proper proper ଯେମିତି ଆମର ତୁ ତୁମେ
proper
ଆପଣ ଯେମିତି
truth ma'am
ତୁ ଆପଣ ଯେମିତି ଅଛି ସେଇଭଳିଆ
yes yes that's right. And
ସେଇଭଳିଆ
since you are doing this recite world oral traditions that you are saying, ମାନେ ମୋର ମନେ ଅଛି ଆମେ ଛୋଟବେଳେ ଜେଜେମା ଜେଜେବାପାଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ବସିକିନା ଖରାବେଳେ ଗପ ଶୁଣୁ।
ହୁଁ
So
ହୁଁ ହୁଁ ହୁଁ
ସେଇ ଟାଇମରେ ଆମେ ଯେତିକି words ସବୁ ସେ ଗପ throughରେ story telling ରେ I think that learning way of learning is fun। ସେତେବେଳେ ଆମକୁ ଲାଗୁନଥିଲା କି ଆମକୁ 10 words dictionary ବି ପଢିବାର ଅଛି କି
ହଁ
10
ହଁ
words ଆମକୁ ଆଜି dictation ରେ ଲେଖିବାର ଅଛି। I mean it
ରାଇଟ୍
was just automatic learning, incidental learning I would say, and that was
ରାଇଟ୍ ରାଇଟ୍ ରାଇଟ୍
that was beautiful. So as you rightly said that ki mother tongue, mother language enhances creativity because we are thinking in our mother language.
ହଁ ହଁ ରାଇଟ୍ ହଁ ଆମେ ନ୍ୟାଚୁରାଲି ଆମର କାହିଁକିନା ଆମର ପିଲାଦିନରୁ ଯୋଉ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ ଛୋଟ ଛୁଆ ଯେତେବେଳେ ବଡ ହଉଥାଏ ସେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ତାର ଥିଙ୍କିଂ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ କରେ 2 ବର୍ଷ 2.5 ବର୍ଷ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରେ ସେ ତାର ନ୍ୟାଚୁରାଲି ଥିଙ୍କିଂଟା ତ ଗୋଟେ ମିନିଂକୁ ନେଇ ହବ ନା ସେ ଯୋଉ ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜକୁ ଏକ୍ସପୋଜ ହେଇଥାଏ ସେ ସେଇ ମିନିଂକୁ ହିଁ ଯୋଡ଼ିକି ତା ସେ ଥିଙ୍କିଂଟାକୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରେ ତେଣୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରେ ନ୍ୟାଚୁରାଲି ତା ଥିଙ୍କିଂଟା ସେଇ ଭଳିଆ କାହିଁକିନା ଯେତେବେଳେ ମେଣ୍ଟାଲି ପ୍ରୋସେସ କରିବ ସେ କିଛିଟା ୱାର୍ଡକୁ ନେଇକି ସେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ସକୁ ନେଇକି ପ୍ରୋସେସ କରିବ
Hmm.
ମଦର ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜ ଗୋଟେ ଇମ୍ପ୍ରିଣ୍ଟ ହେଇକି ଥାଏ ସେଟା ଗୋଟେ ପରମାନେଣ୍ଟଲି ଗେଟ୍ସ ଏଚ୍ଡ ମୁଁ ସାଇକୋଲୋଜିଷ୍ଟ
Yes.
ନୁହେଁ କିନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିଛି କୋଉ ଟାଇପର ହୁଏ କାରଣ ଆପଣ ରାତିରେ ଯୋଉ ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜରେ ସ୍ୱପ୍ନ ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣ ସେଇ ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜରେ ଭାବୁଛନ୍ତି
Yes.
ରାତିରେ ଯୋଉ ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜରେ ସ୍ୱପ୍ନ ଆପଣ ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି ସେ ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜରେ ଆପଣ ଭାବୁଛନ୍ତି ସେ ଥଟଟା
Yes.
ହିଁ ସ୍ୱପ୍ନ ଆକାରରେ ବାହାରକୁ ଆସେ ତେଣୁ
That's true.
ଯଦି ସେଇଟାକୁ ଆସିଛି ତ ଆପଣ ସେଇଟା ଆସିବ ତ ସେ ସମୟ ମଦର ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜକୁ ଆଣ୍ଡ ମଲ୍ଟିଲିଙ୍ଗୁଆଲିଜିମଟା ବହୁତ ହି ଜରୁରୀ ଆପଣ
ବହୁତ
ଯେତେ
ଜରୁରୀ।
କାହିଁକିନା ଆଗରୁ 30 ବର୍ଷ ପୂର୍ବେ ଆମର ଯେତେଟା ଏକ୍ସପୋଜର କିମ୍ବା ଆମେ ଯେତିକିଟା ଜାଗାରେ ନିଜକୁ ଏକ୍ସପୋଜ କରୁଥିଲେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ତାର 10 ଗୁଣା ହେଇଯାଇଛି ଆଜି ଆପଣ ଜୁମରେ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ କାହା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ କଲେଜରେ ଆଉ କାହା ସାଙ୍ଗେ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଅଫିସରେ କଥା କରୁଛନ୍ତି ପ୍ଲସ୍ ଆମର ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାରର ଏନଗେଜମେଣ୍ଟ ରହିଛି ବିୟଣ୍ଡ ଆୱାର ୱାର୍କ ତେଣୁ ସବୁ ପ୍ରକାରର ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜରେ ସବୁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାରର ଜିନିଷକୁ ହବା ଉଚିତ ସେଇଟା ହଉଛି
That's
ବହୁତ
right.
ଜରୁରୀ
बहुत जरूरी, बहुत जरूरी. That also, I think, language has impact on psychological illness also, mental illness. Like if you know a language, you are knowing 2, 3 languages, then there's less chances of getting dementia and Alzheimer.
Yes,
Those are very much yes, those are very much related. And yeah,
ଏଗୁଡାକ ତ ଆମେ ତ ଏକ୍ସପର୍ଟ ନୁହେଁ କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ଜାଣିଛୁ ଯେ ଯୋଉ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣ ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକକୁ ମେଣ୍ଟାଲି ଏନଗେଜ ରଖିବେ ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକର ଡିପ୍ରେସନ କିମ୍ବା ଏଥିରୁ ତାର ଦୂରେଇ ଯିବାର ପସିବିଲିଟି ବେଶୀ କାରଣ ଯେତେ ଆପଣ
mm,
ବ୍ରେନକୁ ଯେତେ ଆପଣ ତାକୁ ଏନଗେଜ କରେଇ ପାରିବେ କାରଣ ଗୋଟେ ଡଲ୍ ମାଇଣ୍ଡରେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାରର ଇଏ ଆସିଯାଏ ତେଣୁ ସେଇ ସମୟରେ ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜଟା ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ ହି କାମ କରିବ ସେ ଜିନିଷଟାରେ
yeah, that's right. Okay, ଆମେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କଥା ହବା you are a communicator as well like how do you
ଓକେ
define that how do
ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କଥା ହବା ସରି 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 ହଁ କୁହ ହଁ
yeah I was just reading through your profile and then I got to know that you also are a communicator and how do you define that.
Yeah, so communicator is a broad spectrum language which I use instead of a writer or a poet or I write blogs. I go and speak to people. So what am I doing? So basically, I'm using different modes of communication to communicate. So instead of I use a very generic and a very is a broad word to describe that what I do. I as a writer or as a poet or anything. So it's essentially a communicator. So
Yeah,
that's what we
yeah, let's now come back to the book. Let's now come
do.
back to the book.
Yeah.
So how did that happen, and how did that journey started? And let's listen to that.
Yeah, so it's like a 10 years journey. Because I wrote my first blog, I think it was 2014. I wrote my first blog. I wrote it in. So I just thought that I can write or I should write or let me write. We started like that. So I just wrote that, and we were hearing about people blogging. Their, it's like a journal. People are posting. We were seeing people writing about their what happened, and the social media was actually, it was like it had not reached as impactfully as it is now. But then it was just a platform through which actually you can reach out to a wider audience. So I started that, and I just wrote, and this blogger thing happened. Google offered this particular platform called Blogger. So I didn't know how to create an account there, and I started posting those things there. So it's like, and it one led to the other, and there were friends, there were people who were actually writing on the site, and Facebook has been a great platform where actually you could read a lot of contents written by other people, and you relate to those writings, and you also see similarities in your life also, or your something. So that led to me voicing my opinions, or about my two pennies on various matters. So I kept on writing about what came my way, and it was gathering. The volume was increasing. So good friends, and again, the people who regularly followed me and read me, they encouraged me. Why don't you come up with a book? I said, who's reading a book? Who's reading a book? And why a book? I mean, if you can read it on the platform which is already freely available, why do you have to buy that? But then I was surprised. I was surprised that actually people, they actually they many of them actually were not there. They were not there in that digital platform, but they were interested to read it in the form of a book. And it has been a revelation that many have actually read the same article they read earlier, and they have discovered it again is different because they got a chance to read it again. They got a chance to read it again. I said, wow, it's interesting. It's interesting. So that was so the book came about that it got published February 3rd. It was launched, and it was showing huge acceptance by, I mean, friends, people unknown, and on the online platform also, and many of them relate to one of those articles which is very randomly written, and they are enjoying it.
So how did you arrive at the name Random Reflections?
Yeah, so yeah, I always saw myself as a random guy actually. So I never knew that actually I never know actually what I'm going to do next. Okay, so it's a pretty randomness in my thought. And secondly, the people wanted to, the whoever I talked to said there has to be a theme. I said, what's the theme? The randomness is the theme itself, There's no theme. So, what do you write on? I said, okay, let me go back to all my blogs to find out. So, to discover that there is a theme or the absence of it, it took me quite a while to know that actually there's no theme. There's no theme. It's just my thoughts. So, I just talked to the blog name of mine is the Random Reflections. I said, okay, let that be the book itself. And Random Reflections is that it's my reflective essays, what I thought at that moment. So every article has a date reference. It will give you the date on which I thought like that. That doesn't mean that I'm thinking like that now. I might have changed my thought. But that was the spirit of the time. That was the thought of that time.
Beautiful. What I'm learning from you is random is a theme.
Yeah, then Brownian motions. If you're a student of science, you know that actually there's a thing called Brownian motion. Is it the molecules freely float about? So
Yeah,
they have a pattern. They have a pattern
yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah. So that randomness, if we translate that to life, Is it like more freedom of thought, like more being yourself?
Yeah,
How does that?
yeah. So any thinking person is normally thinking on various things happening around him. He's forced to. He's a thinking type. Many of us do read a lot of contents and love to travel in the slope of the journey which the writer has set for ourselves. Let it be the TV media, let it be the newspaper media, let it be the what do you call that the YouTube channels. People love to take that roller coaster ride through the narratives. There are many who would like to take that content and also start thinking in their own way to process it and kind of arrive at their own conclusion. So my writings are meant for people who would get 20 perspectives, but they will have their own thought about it. So it's like a thinking person's handbook that you can think randomly over things happening around you, and you can still have an opinion about it. People may not take you
Yeah,
seriously, but that's your opinion. That's your opinion.
yeah, yeah.
You may
And
resonate
that
with
is,
that. You may resonate
yeah,
with that.
that,
You may not resonate with that. Yeah.
yeah. So that is like what I'm understanding is like moment to moment.
Yep, yep. That's why there's a date reference, there's a month
Yes.
reference at least. So which gives you which gives you the idea that this is what I thought then. That was my thinking. It's like a journal, you know. You go back to your old diary and you travel back to the same thought. And you may find it
I
absolutely silly. You may find it absolutely silly. Oh my God, did I really think like that?
something from your black box.
Pardon? My black box. Oh, lovely.
Your black, yeah, yeah. So the first one is found that diary. I hope it's okay for you if I read this.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's in the public domain. I mean, you can all read.
So found that diary with those cryptic notes, which I only could understand. Those yellow, crumbling, dog-eared pages, and the memories loaded with the dates mentioned. So this is one. And the other one is it's kind of a sassy one. So this says a toothpick brought from the restaurant we went to, that kerchief which you chose to leave behind after wiping off those lipstick mark from my neck. You thought our secrets are safest with me and in my mind. So I took this too, and I thought, why don't we laugh with this?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's always said never ask a poet about his experiences. So never undermine the creative limits the author can stretch his situation to.
Absolutely. And what do you think after reading that? I have been thinking, okay, this is something I can also imagine.
Yeah, yeah. So that's interesting. You know, that's what the whole idea is. You know, it makes you think. It makes you think in that line, and you see that actually you might have done the same things. In your subconscious without realizing that. So
Yeah,
you start
yeah,
looking at a house in the new thought.
yeah.
Discover
That's
that
right.
way. Here are the things. So it may not be a toothpick, but there are we leave behind so many things. Maybe a book bought at a particular airport in a while we were waiting for that the mention of that date there makes you travel back to that same place. And you discover, ki, my God, there have been so many years have passed. This morning I opened a book. I thought it's pretty recent, and I discovered this from 2004, 2004, and it's like wow. So it's like okay, 20 years gone. So this
Yes,
is the
yeah.
time. 20 years gone.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And um, I also want to ask, like, since you have been taking classes for international universities and international
Yeah, yeah,
students.
yeah. Yes, yeah, yeah. As guest lecturers, and I've been, I have my collaborative professors there, and I have been associated with Glasgow, Manchester, Auckland. The university is mostly about the work which I do. I work in the space of sustainability and circular economy. So I just go and as a guest lecturer, I just take classes. A few of the classes have been virtual, and it has been like that. And I also teach in a local university, XIMU. I offer two courses there. So one in the School of Commerce, another in the School of Sustainability.
Wow.
So I teach there. So that helps me stay connected with the current generation of people,
Mm.
the new breed of people actually who are coming. So that keeps me. I'm in a position to see the change happening every year. I can profile that.
Wow. Wow. So you have been keeping yourself really organized and busy with engaged, I
Yeah,
will say, engaged with.
yeah. Staying organized is not a choice with me. You have to, because once you're juggling so many balls. If you miss one, it all lands on your face. so, so you have to stay organized. And
Yeah, yeah.
that's place, but again, you discover that you can do it. You can do it.
Mm.
It's not that
Yeah.
I don't have leisure time. I have a lot of leisure time. I enjoy. I spend my time with my friends, my families, my dogs, my things. I do that. So it's like
Yeah.
somebody who says that, okay, I got a one. I have a one job. I manage 15 jobs, and still I have time.
Mm.
I have time.
Wow.
So it's not a very difficult thing to do. But
Yeah.
for that you have to be very, very organized.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. This is the second thing we learned. The third, actually, that he is doing 15 job, 15 tasks, I mean, and still he has time. So this is a different,
So
and
it's
only
how
you
you
can do
see
it if
it.
you're organized. Yes.
So it's just that how you see it. If you look at, I wake up very early. It's like 4 o'clock. I am up. 3:45, 4. I am up, and I sleep say by 10 o'clock. I sleep. So if you look at, you have got that many hours in hand. From 4 o'clock, till 10 o'clock. You see number of hours you have, and if you can dedicate 1 hour to each of those things we have committed to, you can do that thing within 45 minutes. You can have a 15 minutes of break. So who says that we don't have time? You have time.
There you go.
You have time.
There
So
you
it's just
go.
a question of
Yeah.
priority. It's a question of priority. So it's not that we don't procrastinate. We do procrastinate. We have to procrastinate. Otherwise, not you can't do everything every day. But fact is that no, neglecting the priorities is something which is unpardonable. Nobody is going to excuse you for your things. So you can do that without
Yeah,
feeling
definitely.
stressed or without. But you have to be organized. You have to organize yourself.
Organized, yes. So, coming to stress and organization, I think that they both are related, like you can reduce your stress if you are organizing your stuff and you really
Yes, yes,
with your
yes, yes.
priorities.
Because stress is essentially your inability to manage your own task or manage your own life. And if you critically analyze, it is mostly self-created. We have created that chaos around us. Either we would have overcommitted ourselves, either we would have said yes to 20 people. So learn to say no. Learn to say no few things. Say, I'm not going to do it today, I'm going to do it tomorrow. But once you do it tomorrow, you better do it. But if you also push that to day after tomorrow, then that also will come back as stress to you. It is better to say that, okay, I'm going to do it after 3 days, and do it after 3 days. That's what I learned from so many people. So I have a friend in Glasgow University now. I said, this is Noemi. So I said, Noemi, when can we talk about it? She will look at a calendar and say, can we talk after a month? I said, wonderful. I mean, if it is so organized that she can say that, okay, I'll be free after a month and we can talk. I said, wow. Well, we're not sure whether we're going to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
So life can be organized. It doesn't mean that there will not be uncertainties. There will be
Yeah.
uncertainties, but still to a large extent, you can control it.
Yes, and I also, when you're speaking, I don't feel that you have too much of expectations. Like you are just doing your task. You don't have any expectations. That's what I'm constantly. The vibe that I'm getting is so you are not at all in the expectation zone. You are just what I need to do. I need to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the day you start expecting things, you're hoping, and somebody else could be having a different plan for you. You never know because what succeeds is a triangulation of so many things. You know, like in Hindu philosophy, it is called Pratishta, Kala, and Daiva. You know, you do your efforts, and for that there has to be divine blessing, and also you should be having the right time at the right place. So there are two major variables beyond you, the Daiva and the Kala are the two huge things beyond you. But what you have control over is your own things, that what you are doing. So your prachesta is your own thing. Rest two things are not in your control. So don't start thinking about them. Don't strategize for them. Don't go to God and pray that okay, give me the blessings. No, it will come when the right time comes. So you have to wait for the right time and the right divine blessings. Some people are blessed, some people are not. Don't creep about God. Don't creep about it. Don't feel betrayed that I didn't have that luck. You I mean, just count your blessings. If you already have it, you have it. If you don't have it, don't have it. So just but that should not prevent you from not doing it. What you have control over is your own deeds, your own acts. Are you doing it? If you're not doing it, you have no right to complain.
Beautiful. Another lesson.
You have to
So,
earn your right to complain after doing your things. Hmm. And also know that even if the best of your efforts may not give you the result that you are aspiring for, because somebody beyond you maybe he deserves it more than you, so he will get that, or his time has come.
yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. So nice. So clarity of thoughts. I feel really good talking to you. No stress, no chaos. Everything is all taken
No,
care of. Clear clarity of understanding.
it's not that there is no stress. There will be stress, but fact is that does the stress affect you beyond the permitted limits? There will be stress. So if you're juggling so many things, but is it a momentary stress which you can correct yourself, or come back to the normalcy, or it gets cascades? Has a cascading effect on your life and it destroys you at the end of it. So if it is a temporary stress for 1 hour, the people around you will know that he's little stressed today. That means the liberty you have is only for a couple of hours to be stressed and behave in a wonky way. So people dear to you know that okay, he's stressed today. Okay, give him enough space. Let him take it off his shoulder, take it off his table, and he'll come back to his normal happy self. But return back to the happy self quickly.
Mm. Reminder.
Don't wear your stress as some kind of a tiara or a glory or a halo around you to seem very
Yeah,
important. You are not important at all.
it's so nice. Yeah, it's so wonderful that we talked about stress today.
Yeah, all of us are own stresses levels. You know,
Yes, yes.
with age we realize that stress is something which you are living with or you have lived with, and some of us have managed it well. Somebody, and the best part, I mean, the serious way of doing it actually lowering your hopes and also organizing
Mm.
yourself. So organize yourself and lower your hopes. That's stress management for me.
Wow. I think yes. Lowering your hopes and organized?
Organizing
No,
yourself, organizing yourself,
organized.
organizing facts.
Organized.
Give your
Wow.
best shot, give your best effort, give your best effort, but prepare yourself for that it might not happen the way I want it to, and just
Yeah.
go on to the
Just
next
do
task.
it. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. Wow, beautiful.
And trust
Very
me,
nice.
in this, I have discovered that what I had thought sometimes that no, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen to me. This is not going to happen. It has happened after years and years. But I know the seed of that thing happening was actually cast years back, and that happens. So then I realized that if had I not continued doing that, or in despair I would have dropped the idea that okay, this is not going to work out. Let me do something else. Maybe I wouldn't have been seeing success now. I mean, whatever reasonable success I'm talking about, it is again it's a social construct. How you define success. For me, success is if I wanted to do something, I could do it. That's success for me.
Yeah. Definition of success, yes. Isn't it very personal and individual?
Each of us have to have our own definition of success
Mm.
because success is the moment I see success through your eyes or through your certificate or through your validations, then that's your success definition, not mine. So I have to stay content in life. I have to have my own definitions of success. And for me, when I wrote this book, I said the idea is that I'll just write that book and take it off my table. That I wrote the book, that's it. Now, what you make of it, what the publisher makes of it, what the readers makes of it, is something which I will consider for the next iteration of my or the next version of my writings. But that's not going to define me, or that's not going to make me elated, or that's not going to disappoint me at all. Because my task was to do that much. If I start thinking that this book should sell at least 1 million copies, then I am shooting myself through my eyebrows. Nobody plans like that.
That's so nice. That's so relaxing to hear, that I just wanted to write a book. I wrote it. That's it. Rest of, I don't know. I wanted to
Yeah,
do, so I did it. Yeah, that's
yeah.
that's so beautiful. So beautiful. Um, Coming to your book, is there anything that you want to really share? And we would love to listen. Something that you want to share with us today? Because I don't have a physical copy. I just read through your blogs.
Mhm.
So if you want to,
Uh, yeah, so many people, many people have. So the first thing I mean, my editor told me that okay, let there not be any chapter number. Let not people look at the index and look at the thing that okay, this is I have done till chapter number 3. I'll have to go to the chapter number 4 after that, or bookmark it. The idea is that you open this book. This is the book, and you just open it at a random page and go to the beginning of this thing, and you start writing. I mean, reading it and it invariably starts with my personal experiences and how I start thinking about those uh, the thing issues in that situation which I was in. Maybe I was at the airport, or maybe I was flying with my co-passenger, a conversation, something which triggers my thought, and you can always see yourself there. You can see yourself there in that particular situation, and also travel along with my thought. And I don't conclude because being old and wise, you know that actually one should not have the final word or final say about anything. So I just trigger a thought and I said that okay, it's an open-ended thing because life is a continuum. Life, no. So what I today, there is no finality to the thing. You call it a particular what do you call that conclusion. There's no conclusion in a particular thing, because it's this life is a continuum, and it looks similar. But if you look at the present and just the version just prior to that, there are very small changes to it. But if you look at the thing which had happened quite some time back, you will find that the huge changes which have happened without any one of us realizing that. So why not keep yourself open to all these, what do you call that, influences and
yeah,
the imperatives, which makes us decide in a particular way, and allow that to be done that way, unless it is radically different from. So my book is about that. It's about what I think as a father, what I think as a citizen, what I think as a man, what I think as a mm, so I have each of my writing has been as a persona. So I have seen myself as a father. There has been a letter to a father to the daughter when my daughter joined services on the first day. I thought, what are the things I should tell her? And I just wrote that. And I texted it. I sent it in a WhatsApp message. And that I, elaborated and said that this is what the message is. And many people resonated with that. Many of my
Wow.
professors, who are my colleagues, they say, well, I mean, all along we have been trying to tell our students about this, and we didn't know how to do it. Now we can give them a book and say, "Okay, read this now." so, but that's not all. That's not all. I mean, you cannot really cover all aspects of things which a child should learn. We should allow them to learn on their jobs something, but we can prepare them to take on a job in the right spirit of it.
Yeah, there comes the father. I
Great.
have one question for you. Since you are juggling with so many responsibilities, like you are an author, you are a father, you are an entrepreneur. So, which so far has been challenging and which so far has been fun?
See, each role actually poses its own challenges. The fact is that which part you enjoy the most. The I would say, for me, being a parent was something which I was not prepared for. Perhaps let me be honest with that. Parenting is something which we are not prepared to do. It we just are thrown into parenting or thrown into parenthood without much training. So that has been, for me, call it a challenge or it's a distraction or something like that. But other things that has been all conscious choices which I have made. But in a typical Indian situations, your marriage and your being a parent is something which you are thrown off the cliff and you are expected to not only fly, swim, do everything.
You mean survival? You mean child requirement?
So that they happily take you in a barat and take you to the cliff and throw you to the thing and say, okay, now you fly for a while. Then after that you land on water. Then you swim. Then you do your deep dive, come out of the other side, and again fly back. I said, come on, you didn't train me for that.
That's funny. Oh my God, I laughed a lot. Well, thank you for sharing so much. And it was very nice talking to you. A lot of learning and fun. I just something that is going to stay with me is that kerchief, you know.
Pardon, pardon, I couldn't hear you properly.
Understanding something that is going to stay with me is that the kerchief story.
Oh. so, so if that is helping you to imagine a lot, I mean, that then I've achieved what I wanted to.
I have something for that. Something is coming up when I was reading. So hopefully I'll have a painting for that.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Please do that and show it to me. I can see a lovely painting behind you. Is it painted by
Thank you.
you?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is a sign of infinite. I see a sign of infinite with a day
Yes,
and night picture.
yes.
Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. I
It is
see a
about,
infinite.
in fact, it is about Shiva and Shakti.
Oh, great. Lovely.
This was done on Shivratri.
Oh,
My
excellent.
entire day was spent on this one.
Oh, lovely. I hope my poem makes you do few more paintings.
One is coming up definitely because I'm already getting that visual. So I will definitely share.
Okay. Wonderful. That's what the idea is, The idea as a communicator is that, it just trigger some thoughts and some emotions in you and make you do something. That's like a butterfly effect, you put a pebble onto the pond and the ripple starts. And one ripple leads to million ripples around you. That's what the whole
Yeah.
idea is.
And it's a success for me.
Great, 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 great. Wonderful,
Thank
wonderful.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much. बहुत बहुत बहुत
Thank you.
धन्यवाद ଆପଣଙ୍କର
Wonderful. I mean,
ସମୟ
all the
ପାଇଁ।
people who joined. I don't know how many people joined, but I think we had a wonderful conversations. And let's see when we can huddle
Yeah.
next.
Yes. I hope for that too. And you have a wonderful day today. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. बहुत
And
धन्यवाद। Thank you.
happy Holi to you and to all the people who are listening to it. And the Holi is in the air. Let's
Yeah.
make.
Yeah. Happy Holi to everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.